Plaintiff Scott Hobbs started dating the defendant in high school, and he lost his virginity to her. Scott says all they did during the relationship was drink, smoke, and have sex. But he's suing her today for unpaid bills and late fees. Defendant Alec Weiner says the only reason Scott is suing is because he's bitter that she's moved on and found a better man. Alec is countersuing for the value of 2 dogs.
Tell me what happened here.
I met Alec in high school. I met her actually at a party. We formally met at a party. She came a little late to this party, and I was pretty hammered at the time. One too many Jack and Cokes, and she came in with a couple of colleagues of mine that I knew of, and I went over to them and I was like, who's this cute girl over here? And they told me her name was Alec Weiner. And I was like,
Alec Weiner?
Yeah. And I was like, Alec Weiner. Okay. I was a virgin. I was a virgin.
You said it, not me.
No, I was intrigued by her name. So I go over and I talk to her and I bring her a drink. And one thing led to another. We started making out, hugging each other, just flirting with each other, making out a lot, and get her phone number. I met up with her again the next day at school, and lunchtime we usually went to this class, and we hung out all the time after that. And I ended up finding out that she had a boyfriend at the time. He was in the Marines, so I pretty much convinced her to break up with him, and so she sent a letter to him, and she broke up with him, and now she's with me, and I ended up losing my virginity to her.
So your virginity was taken by a wiener.
Yeah. That is correct, Your Honor. They told me her name was Alec Weiner, and I ended up losing my virginity to her.
So your virginity was taken by a wiener.
Yeah. That is correct, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Scott Hobbs is suing his ex-girlfriend, who claims Scott is only suing her because he's bitter that she has a new man and has moved on.
Go ahead. What else you want to tell me, sir?
So she ended up moving in with me and my parents financially took care of her because she had some family problems, some real bad family problems. So.
Did you all... Is that the last location in which you all stayed together?
My parents had to move to Washington because my grandfather passed away, and they inherited his house. And she was actually going to school at the time, and she didn't want to leave to go to Washington, but we were going to move to Washington sooner or later. And I was in love with this girl, so I decided, just trying to work something out. And I talked to my aunt, and she owns a daycare that she has this whole studio place right above it, and we ended up living up there for free. So it was good for us, and we lived up there for a long time, and we were pretty much just hanging out, smoking, drinking, having sex. It wasn't a very good relationship. It wasn't. It was kind of unhealthy.
Okay, let me allow her to give some background before we get to the specifics on these bills you're suing her about.
Thank you, Your Honor. As you could tell, my ex-boyfriend's very mature. I'm very thankful not to be in this relationship anymore. We dated for close to 5 years, and I'm so glad that it did not go further.
How long did you all live together?
1 year.
Okay.
I'm very thankful that it did not go further than what it did.
What was it like over the course of the 5 years?
The first 4 years were very carefree. Like you said, we met in high school. We were high school sweethearts. I took his virginity. In fact, I think the only reason that we're here today is because he's bitter because I've moved on and found a better man, and he has not been with anybody since, I'm sure. No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I found myself a more mature man.
Okay. What was he doing in that last year that caused all these problems you were
He did work for his father before his father moved to Washington. And when his father moved, he was laid off. And so he had to find himself a part-time job. Since he did not have a job for about a month and a half, I got a second job. So I was working 2 jobs to support us for the meantime. And
How long did you do that?
I'm still currently working 2 jobs.
No, how long did you provide most of the household support?
Up until the day I left.
So for a year?
Yes.
You provided most of the financial support?
Correct.
You worked 2 jobs the entire year?
Correct.
Sir, is that true?
That is not true.
What part is not true?
Well, how could you pay for something that you get for free? We paid. It wasn't.
Okay, so
and
she got everything for free.
Well, yeah, we lived up there for
Okay,
free.
good enough. Let me hear what you're suing about then.
Well, we
Because
opened
how
up.
can you sue a person if they got everything for free?
Well,
Let's hear.
we actually opened up a Target credit card. It had a $200 limit, and we agreed before I even started it that she would pay half of whatever we did, whatever we made.
Okay, so she had to pay half.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yes,
free
sir.
to her.
And also I meant that when we lived at the place, my aunt didn't charge me for rent. She didn't charge me for anything. That's for free as well.
What was her payment obligation during the time you all lived together?
She would pay half of what my credit bill because all we spent it on groceries.
Half?
And we also had a Cox cable bill, and we switched off every month to pay that.
And that's what you're suing for?
Yes, sir.
How many months?
We kept switching off, and then we broke up, and she agreed that she would pay the very last cable bill because I paid it the month before. So she said she would pay the last one, and she never did.
All right, ma'am. What do you say the agreement was on the credit card and on the cable?
Your Honor, I don't owe him any money. The cable is in his name.
I said, how much did you agree
Nothing,
to
Your Honor.
pay? Okay, you never agreed to pay half on the credit card bill,
Never.
and you never agreed to pay anything on the cable.
No, Your Honor.
Did you agree to pay anything?
I did help out, but I never agreed
Okay.
to help out. I just did because we were together for so long that that's what people do when they live together.
I made it very clear when I opened up the account. Before I opened up the account, I said, you are going to pay half of it, correct? Because that's all we're going to spend it on is groceries. Why would I want to pay for all of the
Prior
groceries?
to getting the credit card, how long did you all live together?
Probably a month or two.
Did she pay half the groceries then?
Yeah, I suppose.
Your Honor, I have my own statements here from my bank, from my debit card, where I purchased my own groceries.
Let's see it. During this time that he's referring to?
Yes.
And he didn't pay you half on this? He didn't pay you half?
No.
Sir? Did she?
I don't understand how you could just sit there and lie to me, to the judge, when you said clearly that you will pay half of what we did on the credit card. That's why I worked at Target. I had a
Scott,
15%. I had 15% off, and we always went towards that, and I always got money for that.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you pay half on the
I
groceries
paid
that she
way
put
more than
on
half.
hers?
I paid hundreds and hundreds of
On
dollars
hers?
each month.
On hers?
We didn't come to that agreement.
Oh, okay.
I didn't-
So your agreement was she pay half on your credit
I wanna
card,
see it. Can
but
I-
you pay nothing on hers.
I don't believe that she came home with any.
Your agreement was she would pay half on yours?
Yes.
All right, but no agreement to pay half on
I don't remember her
hers.
bringing home any
Pardon
groceries.
me?
I don't remember her bringing home
All right,
any
let me
groceries.
show you. Remind you. See that?
Okay.
Remember now?
Yes.
Good. Let me have it.
Took his virginity. In fact, I think the only reason that we're here today is because he's bitter because I've moved on and found a better man, and he has not been with
Another
anybody since, I'm
version.
sure. No, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Go
I
ahead.
found myself a more mature man.
Plaintiff Scott Hobbs is suing his ex-girlfriend, who claims Scott is only suing her because he's bitter that she has a new man and has moved on.
See that?
Okay.
Remember now?
Yes.
Good.
No,
Let me have it.
I guess so.
Now that you
Since
remember.
it shows it there, I suppose.
Counterclaim
Your
for
Honor.
$1,000 for dogs. How so?
Yes, sir. We had 2 teacup chihuahuas. I purchased the first one for myself, and then we got a second one as a gift for the other dog to have a playmate. And when we lived together, they were with us. And when we broke up, I was only 21, so I had to leave his place since it was his family's owned, and I went to live with my sisters, which was temporary until I found my own place. And during that time, we had just verbally discussed that the dogs would stay living there since he had a stable household for them to be at, where they've been living at for a year at that point. And during that time where I was with my sisters, we just tried to keep it peaceful. He started calling me, asking for money. We had a falling out, and at that point, he decided to get rid of the dogs. He gave them away. I'm still paying a $1,300 vet bill on one of the dogs, and he also bragged about giving the dogs away all over Facebook. In fact, he bragged about coming on Judge Mathis, that he was going to show me up
Sir,
and everything.
what do you want to say about the
Okay,
dog?
I have a question.
proof
I
of
still
that.
currently have the dogs there living at my mom's house.
That's what she's
in
saying.
Washington. In Washington. I'm going to be moving there soon. They are still my dogs. I made it very clear to my mom that they are still my dogs.
Oh, you paid for them?
I'm sorry?
You paid for them?
I had my
What?
I'm sorry. My dog Samson, my mom gave him to me.
Did you pay for either of the dogs?
No, I didn't.
So how are they yours?
Because they were both of ours. It's like our kids. Like they were.
Purchased the
we
dog?
considered them both
Who
of our dogs.
purchased the dog?
They lived at my house. They lived.
You're not answering my question. You're evading the question. I asked you who paid for them. I believe. What do you have to show me anyway?
I have
because he
his
wouldn't
Facebook
answer my
witches where
question. I
he
kept
bragged
saying
about
who
giving
paid
them.
for him. He wouldn't tell me who paid for him. That leads me to believe you did. So I let my chihuahuas go to my mom for a while I focus on. I find it hilarious. My ex-girlfriend was mad because I didn't give them to her. You cheated and stole my money. Women hate the word, and my mom will probably read this, so I'll just say, what a dumb That's what he calls you.
I have a statement from my mom.
What does your mom say? What did Mama say?
It says.
Let me see what Mommy say.
It says that they lived.
Let's see what Mommy say.
Both of the dogs lived at my place.
I know they did live there. Remember, you said they did. The only issue is who purchased the dogs. You couldn't answer it. She did, sir. With regard to your claim that she owes you for half the groceries, this is what you said. I got a credit card, purchased groceries. She should pay me half the groceries. She says, and she proved it, that she purchased groceries. I say, so should you pay her half? Nope. You are unreasonable. Okay, well, and I do not believe you because you do not think in a reasonable manner. Therefore, I'm going to dismiss your claim and I'm going to grant her judgment based on what she has shown me and based on your inability to tell me who purchased it. She's very clear on who purchased it. She said, I purchased it. Judgment for the counterclaimant, and yours is dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
She is one of the biggest liars I've ever met in my life. We agreed upon it, and she has nothing to lose, but she just wants me to not have any of it. So, and she says that both of the dogs were hers, or were her dogs. They were ours. How could you even sit there on oath and under oath and you just lie like that?
I purchased one dog. The other dog was given to both of us as a gift for graduation.
I
paid for all the food. I paid for their kennel supplies.
I paid for all the food. Now, obviously, I'm
on your Target credit card because you worked at Target and you had to have a credit card to buy things at Target.
You said half. You said you'd pay half, and now you're a liar.
He's just bitter. He hasn't moved on since the relationship.
I'm so happy.
He has told people that he misses having a girlfriend.
Way better than you.
Okay.
Thank God.
I say the same thing.
To Jesus every day I'm not with you.
Me too. At least we have that mutual understanding.